And in fact, sorry for a small, I think some delay of around 5 minutes or so. We were expecting some more people to come in. They will join in. But we thought once you're on time, so we should start straight away. Okay. So I'm here. I'm Sunil Dahiya. I represent NIT, and and I'm here to talk about the complete what you hear, what you see here, the Web Academy program. Now, before getting into that, more important aspect is you also must be wondering as to why why NIT is here and what is this Google Web Academy and what does it mean to you and me, and in fact, at the end, what does it mean to all of us before you leave? So just to take you through in terms of the agenda of this, what I'll run through is, we'll talk about the internet and digital marketing trends. We'll talk about the, NIT and Google, why are we together? Overview of NIT, there's Web Academy online professional curriculum, we'll talk about this, an advanced online advertising program, and question and answers at the end. So this will be the flow. And in fact, before going even there, in fact, starting up right from the keynote in the morning, I think if you recall, there were points like, anyone in terms of how many internet users in the globe? 700 million. 700 million in the globe. Exactly, 2 billion. Yeah, can you please pass it on to the gentleman in black? It is 2 billion. And in fact, this will set the whole stuff. And in fact, what I wanted to, let's take this further. So on one side, we are talking about 2 billion internet users. That's one across the globe. Go further down, because that will take us to this. In India, the internet users is easy. I think all of you know this. So no prizes for this. But yes, I think all of you know this. You are hearing it since morning. 120 million in India. And within that, what is the, now just limit what we are here today. And this today is meant for the business track part, or the people who are into small and medium businesses. What is the size of Indian small SMB segment? Small and medium business. 4 million. Well, sorry, it is 48 million. Okay. And now let me come to this slide, because this will take you straight there. Today, what percentage of these 48 million are having their businesses on the web? Well, it's 8.2, 10, this. Well, anyway, I'll go with the keynote in the morning. So it is exactly between 5 to 6%. So going with that, it is that, but yes. But the whole objective, don't worry about it. The whole objective is that, can you imagine how much is the opportunity for learning? Because if we are talking about, let's say 5 out of 48 million, only 5% of them are today online. What does this mean to all of us? And in fact, when I look at the, let's say the segment which is attending today, this program, and how many of you here are, SMB owners or somehow associated to small and medium businesses? Could you please raise your hands? Okay. And how many of you would be students who are in college or, still undergoing stuff? Perfect. So that gives me a fair idea. So now I'm sure by now you would have guessed why am I standing here for. Because on one side, this becomes an opportunity. On the other side, this is one area where India, very specific, and the globe at an overall level has to get trained and has to get into this area. So that is one of the aspects, and that's where we'll talk about this when I move further. Now, in fact, very interesting. In fact, one of the point in the morning, again, one of the question from, in fact, frankly speaking, keynote. And how many mobile users are there in India? He answered first. Yes, it is 70 million. So can I request? So now this opens up another issue or another opportunity. Now, if these many are mobile users, you can understand what's going to be the future on this area as well. How much opportunity does it bring on the table? And of course, not going further into this breakup, but within mobile users, there is a smartphone. There is a population which uses internet, right? All that is also, right now, of course, what we heard in the keynote in the morning, it's more like it is growing, and India is one of the largest bet for everybody, right? Okay, so now coming with this, now let me move to the next part in terms of initially talking about the digital marketing trends. I think we did cover up when we were talking about it. So what you see here is, anyway, we are talking about, we were talking about, agriculture revolution, industrial revolution, then came the IT revolution, then suddenly came the, all your telecom revolution, where all your mobiles and stuff, these things came in. If you look at last 7 years, look at from India, from where to where we have reached in terms of mobile usage. And now we are all talking about digital revolution, which is the next one in there. At least in terms of knowledge, I'm sure, how many of you know what is big data? Another trend which is going to come in. Okay, so it's another trend, which is going to come in, because the trillions of data, terabytes of data is getting generated daily. And obviously this opens up huge opportunities, again, for another business to come and overall, rule the whole aspect. Any which way. Okay, now what you see here is the breakup between Asia and rest of the world. Asia looks at some 44.8%, and when we look at rest of the world, some 55%. So this tells you how important is Asia. And within that, I think if you look at the countries within Asia in terms of internet penetration, India is, right now when it comes to the globe, India is number 3. And when it comes within Asia, India is number 1. So in fact, on this front, we are already doing very well. Now, 1.1 billion new internet users added in the last 5 years. These are some data points. Key point takeaway from here. Wherever we are today, in the next 3 years, it's going to triple. Now, if this is written on the wall, then this opens up a huge opportunity for a learner to learn, for an employer to employ, for new businesses to come up, and it opens up big, huge areas. And I'll talk about each one of them moving further. What is the typical thing which we do when we are online? So, in fact, there are some data points. 61% of the users, and this is very specific to India, spend most of the time on social networking. Obviously, social networking is one of the area which really drove the the internet penetration. 76% users buy or non-travel products. Now, incidentally, if you see today, ticket buying, and this is one part, but very interestingly, you must be noticing another thing. Today, if you are planning to go on a vacation and you are going to stay in a particular hotel, you will go and see the review of that hotel. Now, if 10 reviews are there and 6 of them say that the food is lousy, even though it's the biggest one of the well-known hotel, you will get impacted. You will think, no, maybe now this is not the right time to go. And maybe, so already reviews, a lot of things have started on this line as well. In fact, I must share this, nowadays when, let's say, I travel to, any location, and suppose I don't know the location. So, now when you sit even in a cab, I'll immediately put on the Google Maps. And, now auto driver can't tell me it is 20 kilometers. I know it is 6.4 kilometers. Right, and it should take so much, but of course, exception is Bangalore, because 6 kilometers also might take a huge amount of time. But the whole aspect is how these things are coming up, how these things are changing. That's the point here. So 51% pay bills online. I'm sure you must have noticed your electricity bills, your telephone bills, Tata Sky, various things. in our home usage, we have already started paying the bills online. Now, in terms of, this is what we discussed, 48 million small and medium enterprises in India, and only 5% SMEs have online business. So what does this mean to you and me? Now, this means there is huge population who would like to move their business from today to an online business. Also means if each one of, so the first opportunity is for entrepreneurs like you who might be running a small business, and you would like to take it on web and try to put an e-commerce around it and work on that part. Second opportunity is for the people who will get employed in these SMB segments, students who will ultimately join these kind of organizations. Third is altogether in terms of any one of you who wants to start up his own business, might not have started today, but want to start up something on your own. In fact, let me give you an example. We were piloting this, before we came out with this Web Academy program, we were piloting this in some batches in North. You will not believe the people who were sitting in the class. There were people, there was a gentleman who was from flower business, trying to set up. There was a lady who was into the jewelry business. And then how does she get this online? There were students who were talking about, I take physics tuitions for, the others, school kids, and he's in a college, and he wanted to make that itself, a big website. I must give you one example. very near to our this thing. One of our own colleagues, his daughter, prepares non-vegetarian Bengali food very, very well, right? Her friends told her, you do one thing, let's get on email, and why not you tell us, what you can prepare, how do you prepare? She started with that. One of her friend, made that, posted that on the website. And with no intent, there were 2 orders which she received, that we have a party here, can you prepare this non-veg for this? And then, of course, I know her father, then ultimately he said, no, my kitchen became the complete restaurant, so I had to stop everything, and then came out. But the whole aspect is how powerful, something can become. I think just one small example, a small idea in these areas can make a big difference. Just to share with you, this application, one of the application made by I think somebody in Europe, which is this click sound on the mobile phone. I don't know how many of you know this. He's one of the youngest guy who's going to be a billionaire soon, even when he's still in college. You know this click sound when you, on a mobile phone, when you click a photograph, there's a click sound. Now, this was the application made by him and bunch of some students with him. Imagine how important it is. It is, of course, it is believed that if the click sound doesn't come, a mobile phone doesn't really look like a camera, because when you click, it should give that sound. So a power of a small thing can be so big. So that's, of course, leaving all this part, coming back to SME. Now, if you look at telecom, the auto sector, BFSI sector, all these are today getting online. Most of the banks are completely moving into online system. And even small businesses are completely trying to get into the online space. And here we are in terms of, in terms of availability, in terms of, I'll come to that, what NIT and Google have this for you. Benefits, I'm sure, very clear. Out of what you see here is the, are the key headings, whether it's customer relationship building or reduced cost, greater flexibility. Imagine you have today rolled out something, which is a lot of inserts, design, and at a price point of, let's say, 10,000 rupees, assume. And you find out that, there is a feedback from market and you need to reduce the price point or increase the price point right tomorrow. Now, that can be done immediately when you are on typically the digital marketing domain. Because that you can be that fast. It's not, nothing is physical. Even the store is not physical. There's no rent, there's nothing. So it opens up huge opportunities in that area. Access to global markets, yes, you might be doing some business in India, but when you look at it, your target segment is not only India, it opens up anything, anywhere in the whole world. Okay. Now, this takes me to the alliance, and by now I'm sure you would have guessed. So the whole aspect is NIT and Google are coming together from 2 aspects. So Google from a complete global brand, and this brings on the table the entire learning opportunities in this domain, and then making all these the entire India a more skilled place when it comes to online business. Similarly, NIT on the other side, with and I hope all of you know NIT has been in existence for. I think it's on the table, it's right on the screen, 30 years celebration. Well, this is our 31st year. So it was not a question as a quiz, but it was anyway on the slide. So we have been in system for 30 years, and we have always been known for getting any fresh technology straight to the market first. And that's where Google and NIT came up together in terms of making this training possibility available in India in one go, and I'll talk about this when we move further. So this will tell you about how Google and NIT came together into this. Now, typically, this is one very important slide, and I'll put it in very simple words. Google and NIT will, in fact, Google will come out with 3 different kinds of courses. One, which is the business track course, meant for small and medium businesses, their employees, the employers, and people who want to work in the small and medium businesses, and one big area called digital marketing. There are today 2,500 organizations which are hiring for digital marketing. And in fact, whenever it comes to NIT, so it will automatically will ultimately take it to a job, because ultimately we are known for taking the student to the job. So whenever it comes like this, it's either skilling, but if there's a student who wants to learn it, he can also make it to a job. That's one piece. Second is the developer and the cloud computing professionals. Now, just for your information, I'm sure anyone can guess this, you can answer this. So entire apps world, the complete apps world is today becoming a huge domain. When I say apps world, so typically what do you mean? When I say apps world means? Okay, you are giving me the tools. I'm talking about in general. So there is mobile applications, web applications, social media. Okay, I'm searching for a word. Okay, programming, industry. I think very simple words. Mobile application development, desktop application development, and cloud application development. Broadly, everything will fit into this. See, 2-3 trends are very important for us to know. This year, if you look at the hardware being produced by on all these brands which we know, the number of desktops produced this year is almost the same as number of iPads produced this year. Almost. It is still, desktop is slightly higher. But the way trend is moving, you will find that number of desktop production, it will never go out, no doubt. But you will find the smart areas getting better and better. I hope if any one of you have seen on one of the articles which has just come out, one of the new laptops, and I'm sure it's already out in the market. Take out the screen, it's iPad. Plug it in, it's laptop. So it's that kind of system is going to come in. Now all this means, believe me, each one of them is very significant when it comes to the future from today. So if you look at application development on mobile, application development on desktop, application development on web. Now, on cloud. Now web automatically is part of this. Now this is what, when we talk about the developer series and the cloud computing professionals, now here it becomes hardcore application development. Unlike the first one where it is more of, you want to make your website, fine. You want to know how to sell your product, too. You want to really, you want to analyze data on this. For example, the first part, which is online professionals, it is, you could be a person who is not yet online and you want to move to online. So one, how do you make your website? Two, how do you make it prominent? So when, I'm sure all of you can guess, AdWords, AdSense, analytics, analysis, which kind of people hit your website at what time? Does that tell you something, will this help you in your decision making? Now that is the part on online professionals, and developers and cloud computing professionals is what I just talked about, the desktop applications, the mobile applications, and the cloud applications. Now, as of right now when I speak, what we have worked together and we have rolled out is the first one, which is the online professional series or the business track curriculum. The developer and the cloud computing curriculum would be out by end of August, just to share with you. Okay, so basically, of course, this will help us to emerge, to capitalize on the emerging job markets. And at the end, this would also mean so many Google certified professionals in India. The whole program is worked like this: we train you, we certify you, and then then there's a certified professional available in India to take this further. Okay. Now, before I move, there were 3 questions, and in fact, all of you would have got, a pen and a spiral pad and a card kind of thing, which at the bottom would be a tear away, right? Now, unlike the other thing, what we'll do is we'll ask you 3 questions. It will allow you to tick. So don't speak the answer, please. Please tick the answer. One of my colleagues will come. They will collect the form with you. And before you leave this hall, I'm sure most of you will answer it maybe correctly. But 3 lucky winners we will, we'll announce right here and give you prizes for same. So I hope all of you have got pen, right? Right? Okay. So don't speak, just finish, just enter and we'll move. Name the latest Android operating system, A, B, C, D. Don't answer, please. Don't say anything. Just tick. Okay, first one is ice cream sandwich. Second, jelly bean, gingerbread, or none of them. Question is, name the latest Android operating system, OS. Typically the mobile OS. Okay, so next question. Before Google, what was the name of its search engine? Don't answer. Backrub, Chrome, IE, or none of them? Before Google was known as the search engine, what was the name earlier? Okay. Last question. Which Google tool allows the website owners to control the placement of ads on the website? Very simple. AdWords, AdSense, Google+, Google Maps. Just tick, someone will collect, just don't worry, automatically it will happen, and before you go, we'll announce the winners. Okay, somebody will collect it, just don't worry. Done? I think it's just ticking, that's it. All right, okay, fine. So now let me come to few things about NIT, right? So NIT per se, of course, we'll only touch upon one or two key points which most of you would already know. It was in 1981 when we thought that with a simple mission this company started, bringing people and computers together. Before the session ends, it will get collected. Just don't worry, somebody will come, collect it, and get this. Just relax. Okay. Now, NIT started in 1981 with a simple mission, getting people and computers together. Somewhere in 94, we realized this word successfully at the end. It's very important because ultimately bringing computers and people, and then ultimately we added successfully to this. Now today we are available in 5 continents across 40 countries. Okay, so what you see here is, all these dots represent where is NIT today available. So when it comes to, look at any part of it, whether it's Africa or America, India and China and the Gulf, all this area we are represented today. And another important last slide on this part, we have 550 centers in India. So if you look at any name which up to a major or a category A or a category B town, NIT would be represented. This is one slide, last slide on this, but I just want to explain this to you, just for your knowledge. Okay, I think what it explains is what does NIT do, just in one slide. So it talks about, HighWell, it talks about community learning, school learning, direct learning. Okay, let me explain one way. What is HighWell? This would be a prize question if anybody knows this. What is HighWell? H-I-W-E-L. This is if you are reading, Economic Times and, World Bank and stuff like that, you will know about it. Okay, just for your information, it is hole in the wall experiment. It is called hole in the wall experiment. This was done by NIT for slum areas where we plant a machine, hidden machine, and only the screen is there. Yeah, kiosk. Sugata, exactly. And this is planted there, and then we park a vehicle at around some distance away, and we record in terms of what happens. You will not believe in slum areas also, and what is there on this machine is nothing but a small game. Now, in a slum area where no one has ever visited school, you will find day 1 people will touch and scared. Day 2 now there will be a girl having one small kid in her hand, maybe another kid with her, and in the age bracket of maybe 10 to 12 years, then she'll come in, she'll start touching the screen. But within 4 days, you would find the same girl or some more group of kids would have learned how to operate up, down, left and right arrows. And if we are taking it to a higher level, so basically what we are trying to see is there a mechanism or an education system by which masses can be trained without a trainer? So that's the whole objective of this experiment. Now we are doing such things right at the bottom level. We also do things for community learning centers and school learning solutions. We already are available in 35,000 schools across India. So in terms of school, community learning centers are currently around 2,000 where we are there. Direct learning centers are very specific projects with certain governments. But what you and me know about of NIT, more is the professional skills, where we train students for giving them their first job. Clear objective. Point is, we train them, ensure that they get their first job. Just for your information, in the last, let's say, or let me put it like last 3 years, we would have placed roughly around 1 lakh students in the last 3 years alone. Last year was 32,000. So that has been, we have been known about. And at the end, at the top is the corporate learning. So whatever on the training space, whatever you can think of, we are nearly there almost everywhere. That's the objective of this. This is the last slide on NIT. And now moving on in terms of what has been, only point here very important about NIT is we have been, rated among different, let's say, whether it's DataQuest, whether it's Super Brands of India. So NIT has been rated there. So in terms of recognition. Okay, this is one piece which I wanted to share with you. So when we talk about, Google, it's not only this program which we are there, but how NIT uses Google. So for example, now we have moved into, taking leads from Google. So what happens is all our lead management is on Google. And what you see here, not in terms of overall things, but you look at almost, 1,51,000 leads, 169, 152 are coming from online part in NIT. So this was the point which is more to do with, how do we use Google. YouTube, we ran this turning point scholarship thing on this, and the kind of thing which we got on YouTube is amazing. Next two slides are very important. This one, which will, I think it's too small to see, how important is India, and this is more important. Geographic distribution of visits on YouTube in India, within India, which are the states which do the best. So if you look at Karnataka and Andhra and Maharashtra, so which are the highest users when it comes to YouTube. Anyway, this completes this part. Now let me come to the real thing in terms of what do we have to, what is the offer which we have now for people who are interested to work or interested to get into this domain. One, okay. So the first program which Web Academy, Google Web Academy and NIT is coming together and launching, and it's already launched. In fact, with this today, it will get launched in Bangalore as well, and it is launched from today. It is called the Web Academy Online Professional Program. This program typically looks at enhancing productivity. You can create an online presence, you can reach your customer, analyze or optimize your online presence. Simple words, AdWords, AdSense, and analytics. Typically, when you look at these three together, but this is for beginners, please. The point is, it's a 60-hour program, and the prerequisite, you should know the Windows environment, and then how to work on machine actually, and then the basic part is, this is mainly for beginners, people who are yet into learning how to make a website, of their own. How should you do the basic stuff in the beginning? This will ensure that you will know what is online presence. You would be able to move online. You will be able to do the basic stuff on advertising and analysis of your data. So this is that program which we call it as the beginners program who wants to get into this. This is a 60 hours program, and right now it is already launched in Bangalore, and you can do this program in Bangalore city. In terms of what does this have? This is first time in India by Google and NIT. We have Web Academy qualified online professionals. Exam is done by Google. So at the end of the program, there is an examination conducted by Google, and if you clear the exam, only then you get certified. Right? So there's a training done, but at the end of the training, there is a certification exam from Google. If you clear that, you get certified. That's one. Then, in terms of one more thing I must share with you, how does the kind of training, how is NIT trainers trained, to conduct this program? We have been trained by the experts in Google who have come forward and trained our people, and then our people are then taking it further and training other people, so ensuring that entire 550 centers across India are trained to conduct this program. And in fact, even that is certified by Google before you conduct the program. There would be a marketing voucher worth of 2,500 which will be part of this program, which will be given to you. So in case you want to see, if you have a website and you want to do test everything there right in the class in front of the instructor, we will help you do that as well in the class itself. And these 2,500 worth vouchers will be used for training in the class. And participation certificate at the end will be given by both NIT as well as Google. So this is the program, which is 60 hours program, which has been launched today in Bangalore, and where it will be available in NIT centers in Bangalore. Okay, who can do this program? Any professional who is in digital marketing professional but entering into it, marketing executives, internet marketers, it could be these students who wish to join the online industry, students who wish to start their own business or join family business, this could be them, or entrepreneurs who are the business owners or employees in these entrepreneurs. This program is meant for this segment. We don't have a slide, but just for your information, this program is 60 hours, and this is today priced at 6,000 rupees when you visit the NIT center, just for your information. We also have another program which is called the Advanced Online Advertising Program. This is a program for those people who are already working in this domain for last some time. Clear? First one was for beginners, because if in NIT we cover the entire spectrum. It could be people who are just stepping into it, but there could be people who are already into it, and for them this would be maybe very right at the beginning level. So for these we have this program called Advanced Online Advertising Program, which is delivered through the synchronous learning technology centers across India, and this program typically talks about this. You can see This would talk about the search engine marketing. So broad level is, this is the, slightly going in depth with AdWords, which is the search engine marketing. Here, participants are given, vouchers worth 10,000 to test their campaigns right in the class, because this is very advanced. So we expect people who already have some background to get into this program. And in terms of, the methodology which we use is all synchronous learning in this. And these are some, voice of customers in terms of what they had to say about, about this program which we have. And so what you see here are the people who have been SMB industry, for example, the global marketing manager of Singtel, Reliance Communications, and people who have done this training with us. And so this is there. And lastly, whatever we are talking about it, at this moment we are launching in Bangalore in these 3 centers, which is Residency Road, Jayanagar, and Koramangala. This is available right from today. But by the end of this, beginning September, this would be available in all centers in Bangalore. As of today, if you go, it is available in these 3 centers, which is Residency Road, Jayanagar, and Koramangala. Right? With this, I open the floor for question answers. If you have any questions to ask, please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
And if you are trying the people for AdWords programming,
yeah,
will you guide those persons, will you guide those students to get onto those positions and get the market from there?
Yeah. See, our approach, just to share an approach with you, whenever we come up with any program, our first thing is we work with when I shared somewhere in between with all of you about 1 lakh jobs in the last 3 years.
Yes.
How does that happen? It's small background. Because we work with nearly 3,500 organizations. And an IT is, we have been in this business for so long, so by now everything is set. So first we work that out. Now if there are people of that segment which you are saying in terms of they want to set this up, precisely this is the thing for them. And in case, the trainer inside the classroom would talk about, because see, this is a very, very interesting topic. What happens is, if suppose you are my class, and all of you are my students, and all of you are the beginners, one of you is saying that I want to open a tuition business. Other one is saying I want to open a travel agency. And third one is saying, no, I want to do something like, what was that, Tanjore painting? You saw that today in the morning, in the video? Or let's say somebody into flower business, somebody into whatever. Now, I am conducting the class and each one of you want to know how will it work, correct? So that's the reason when we train, the student in the class, the examples which are worked out are very specific to your needs. So for example, we were talking about a lady in Bangalore who was setting up something for daycare center and how crutch gets into that, how these 2 things get linked. So that aspect we will definitely cover in the training. So to answer your question, yes, we will cover that in terms of training and also look at in terms of whether they can be taken into a job opportunity in SMB segment.
And you are going to give those classes even in the rural areas as well?
Okay, at this moment it will be in our centers. So we are talking about 550 centers.
Yes.
So wherever we have we would be covering almost, let's say Trichy, Madurai. Now, of course, we will not call them rural.
Yeah.
Wherever we are, we would definitely cover. But in case we are not there, that might get covered when we come in. Please.
Sorry. On a funny note, you talked about 5 continents, you missed your cloud.
Sorry?
On a funny note,
yeah.
You said you are present in 5 continents.
Yeah.
You actually missed the cloud.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And again,
so you're talking about the cloud campus?
Yeah.
All right.
So is this available online? Like say, because now you have a restriction of reaching only to 3 locations.
500 or something. Okay, let me answer that. Okay. See, it's like this. When we work with Google, it's very important, that, of course, the plan-wise will be to take it to the entire, all 5 continents, all, countries where we are. But to start with, at this moment, we are starting up this with only India as of now. And in the second phase is that part. But let me answer that first one. And in fact, on a lighter side, but you put the right point. When we launched this cloud campus, and IT is known for this cloud campus thing, and where our students sitting in Nigeria or sitting in Vietnam or sitting in India are connected in terms of their learning experience. So obviously till now, the cloud campus is more from peer-to-peer learning aspect, the peer-to-peer aspect. But you are very right. This even makes it more powerful, and good you pointed out, because maybe I missed this out. So I think this deserves. Please, could you please pass this on to the gentleman there? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes,
There was some.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, I want to know, would NIT provide any platform for any budding entrepreneurs who want to start up a new venture?
Okay. When you say platform means?
A platform means anywhere where you can encourage, where you can give ideas. Of course, not the finance part, but then otherwise.
Okay. See. So when you say give ideas, are you talking about apps?
No. Startups, yeah.
Okay.
Startups.
Starting from web developer, or it could
Yeah.
be. So from a student point of view.
Yeah, student
right?
point of view.
Okay. Yes. See, when it comes to because of our relationship with the industry, we have various kinds of models which work with industry. When we move with this as well, we already have. I would not like to name it because we already have certain areas where so many apps are required to be made and delivered by such and such time. So that is very much there. In fact, 2 years back when Android did this, I don't know how many of you remember, when Google and Android, they worked out on apps development across India, because we are ourselves available in 185 colleges across India. So where our students participated, and the beauty is the idea. I don't know how many people know about A3 Logics company. It's a small company started by a student. Now today, that company in Jaipur is one of the major apps development company. And what is it? They go to college, pick up students, pick up ideas. Because ideas can come in. And then if the students are not making the whole application, they would go and make it. And there are various models around it. But you are very right. Yes, we would provide in terms of the basic platform to at least get into the industry.
Yes, sir. How to start a student venture or a campus company online?
How do you start a
Campus company or a student venture online?
campus company online?
Because I'm doing my MBA in IBS Business School. Last year I have started a campus company which is most product oriented.
Okay.
So this year I'm
Okay,
planning to do.
but you are not trying to say how to get UGC and
No.
recognized university, not
at
that
all,
aspect.
Not at all.
Then it's actually your idea, and how do you take it forward
I
in
knew
terms of
that.
what is your offering, what are your products, ads, link up the related things,
Now,
put them on
what
the
are
web.
supports and feedback we will get from Google or NIT if you have any think tank like this?
Honestly, see, our trainers can always guide you in terms of a required thing. For example, I am doing this. I am stuck because I don't know how to reach to this segment. Correct?
Yes,
Or
to encourage
I'm stuck.
us.
I'm stuck
Exactly.
because automobile is one piece, but with automobile, the complete. There is another. For example, I make car stereos, right? But for me, I want automobile companies to highlight me.
Okay.
Now, how can I do that as a concept is cleared. But very specific about that is more getting into your idea per se. How do you want to take this? But
Exactly.
if there's a question, how do you do that? How do you marry these two? How do you move?
That's
We
what
do
I'm
take that.
asking. Do you have any proper team, innovative team who will gonna support us to get some innovative
See,
ideas?
definitely
to
our
start?
experts are there who can at least guide you in terms of what they feel about it and how do you go about it. But as such, in a classroom per se, very specific this example may
Except
not be in
SMEs
such.
and all that.
Yeah, but it will get covered as part of the requirement in this business. That way.
Okay.
So for example, if customer has to be reached, which is a common thing for everyone, how that happens. If something has to be highlighted, how that happens. If somebody searches this comes first, how that happens. So that aspect will be covered. Okay.
Thanks a lot,
Good.
sir.
Good.
Hello. So this is my question. Here.
Please. Yeah.
Like okay. So I just see that you have launched this online marketing course
Yeah.
in alliance with Google.
Yeah.
So which is more tuned towards AdWords.
Yeah.
But I didn't see Google Analytics as a part of it.
Yeah, I
So-
think I think good you asked this question. I knew it would come in somewhere. That's the next phase. We'll talk about that. And I think right now we are on AdWords phase. But definitely the similar program on the advanced side, we will talk about analytics at a later stage. And in fact, this just one second. This also I want to explain one more part. I think some of you might ask that. The certification which I spoke about at the end of the program is a single certificate for all three, which is AdWords, AdSense, and Analytics, right now. However, to answer his question, in terms of a specialized program, this would come in at a later stage, but right now it's not there. Yeah.
Hi, I have a question here. For this web academy which you are starting,
Yeah.
are you looking for any partners who could be of helping you on your side?
Okay. As of see, the point is, as of now, we are always open for this thing, and I think we can discuss this offline. But frankly, it's right now in the beginning. So we are ourselves getting into. We have because the training per se, we want to first master it completely, and we are launching it only because we know now it will work. So once we have the the proof on the table, and then if it requires, let's say, a big spread required, then the partners in comes in.
In that case, should we be talking to you as an AIT or should we be talking to Google?
But we'll have to understand partnership in which area you are looking at.
Correct, this Web Academy.
For Web Academy in terms of delivery or in terms of?
In terms of delivery, yes.
Delivery area, I think, because NIT is already there and that's what we have been.
Correct.
So honestly, that side might not be, but there might be some other areas which might be available.
Correct,
Right?
yeah.
So you can get in touch with us
Sure.
and we can take this forward. Not an issue.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Can you describe more about advanced program, the duration and fee structure?
The advanced program is at 38,000 is the fee, and this is 120 hours program. Somebody asked where I can't maybe because of light. Okay, okay. This is 120 hours, and 33,000 is the fees. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Please.
Yeah, even I think that was one of my question, what he asked right now, the course fee. And the second thing is, how many students do you have in a batch? And what is the, when is the days, the classes conducted? Is it like every day in a week or is it?
Oh, yes. I think first, before even I answer you, you deserve this because these are the points which, I should have anyway definitely clarified. Okay, the point is, we did a survey. And SMB segment is a segment which typically says that, if you run this batch on a Saturday, Sunday, you have business. So you can't come at that time. Then if you run it all the days, 2 hours, it's okay, but then at a particular time. Because for example, most of the small and medium businesses will open up by around 10, 11 in the morning. So one aspect is you have a choice of timing, whether it is a morning batch, which is 7 to 9 in the morning, or 9 to 11 in the morning. So that you can go for the entire week. Or it could be a weekend batch, which is 4 hours on a Saturday, on every Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. So we'll give you 3-4 options like this. Another point, very, very important, when it comes to the SMB segment, the classroom size we have, even though our maximum classroom size is 24, but our objective is to limit it to 15. Because in the beginning, we want to be very, very focused, because the question the gentleman asked about, when it is his specific business, and someone else is an altogether different business. Now imagine if I am the trainer, I have to take care of all of you. So that's why the limit, the initial batch size is only 15, which you will see all across, in our system.
Excuse me.
See, frankly speaking, I would not say, in such case, these are more idea-based, So the individual, for example, the gentleman in the class who came, who said, I want to show my son that I can do business of flowers, right? Yep. Now his ask was very, very specific, right? So frankly, he would look at, okay, given this, how should I approach it, right? So frankly, when you say live, live could be, somebody is requiring this to happen. But I take your point which you're trying to make. Yes, going forward, because of our connect in the industry, if there are some projects which are live, which they want some students to work upon, we can get them as project in this batch. As of now, no, but yes, going forward, we can do that. And I think my request, please pass this to him. It's very important.
Can we just have a last question?
Yes.
Sir?
Okay.
Thank you.
Please.
This question may not be relevant to the Web Academy, but since you spoke about SMEs and technology usage in SMBs,
Yes.
I'm part of a company which sells business analytics softwares which is delivered over the cloud.
Okay.
So the kind of understanding that we have got till this date is Indian market is not especially the SMB market is not that open towards the technology usage and the cloud usage in their business processes. So how are you going to deal with this? Or do you have a program you're planning to create awareness about this, about the security of the cloud, things like that?
Yeah, so I think I break your question into 2 parts. One is the cloud piece, which is to do with, which is a broader question about security on the cloud, which again can be divided into the private, public, and the hybrid cloud. But not getting into that technicalities, frankly speaking. But from the point of view of SMB getting into this, see, the more and more, we are getting competitive. Now, let's say today, we all know, the economic times are, not so stable. Any times, it takes a, it's not a straight growing curve. Now, we are compelled, to always look at options which will be cost reducing. Any which way. And even the existing businesses, even people who are in the existing running business, even they have to work on reducing the cost side and still being the same productive or more productive. Now this applies to any industry, whether you get into manufacturing, get into any part of it. So ultimately, even though these challenges are there, but I'm sure, things will work out. But as the rate at which SMBs are, for example, I shared with you 5% of the 48 million are today online. But within them, if you just to answer that question, almost 1% to 2 to 3% happened the last 2 years, and the first 2% took some 6-7 years. So what we'll see is, the speed will grow only on this area. Okay, I think. Okay, I think they are okay. What I'll do is I'm available. So what we'll do is we will, I'm available and I'll take all your questions. And but I think I must announce the 3 lucky winners. In fact, most of you would have answered it correctly. That's, I'm sure, that's what I got to know. The first name is Palani. There is Mr. Palani or Miss Palani. Palani here. Please come in. Mr. Pal, yeah. Where are you? This and this. Yeah, come. I think just to give your exercise to your hands, you can clap because he was very lucky. Fine. Thank you. This is for you. All right. Thank you. All right. Next is, it is Nikhilesh V. Yeah. Please come. Congrats. Thank you. And final is Mr. Ram Kumar. Mr. Ram Kumar is there? Sorry. Congrats. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'll be available outside the session, and I'm here throughout today as well as tomorrow. So I will answer your questions. I think you just wanted to ask something because I think time is up, so we'll take that. Okay, fine. Thank you so much.